Hey, what's happening, guys? Landon here with LMR.com, and today this video is going to cover my quick rundown on SVE Subframe Connector options fitting your 1979 to 2004 Mustang. If you are currently shopping around for a quality, budget-friendly subframe connector, then you should definitely consider checking out these options from SVE. Before I go into any more detail on these connectors, the most common question asked surrounding suspension components is, do I really need subframe connectors? Well, me personally, I've always had subframe connectors on any of my Mustangs. They are designed to connect the front and rear subframes together. This not only strengthens the flexible floor pan between the two subframes, but greatly increases the rigidity of the Mustang's unibody chassis. Up first is the SVE mid-length subframe connector. These are great for the average enthusiast that likes spirited driving every once in a while. They feature a boxed steel construction, seat supports, and are available in a red or black powder coated finish for years of durability. The correct hardware is also included to secure the subframe seat supports to the floor pan. Also, keep in mind that these SVE mid-length subframe connectors must be welded to complete the installation. The next option is for the serious enthusiasts looking for the best chassis rigidity. These full-length subframe connectors span the entire length of the frame rail and feature beefy 1x2 inch steel rectangular tubing for superior durability and quality. The full-length subframe connectors are bare metal, so once you get them installed and welded is completed, be sure to cover the entire component with a rust prohibitive paint. Like the mid-lengths, the full-length subframes will come with the needed hardware to bolt the seat supports to the floor pan. Since the full-length subframes cover more ground than the mid-lengths, there is some fitment notes I would like to make clear for you guys. 1983 to 1993 convertibles will require brace modifications, as well as 96 to 98 Cobras will require modifications to the transmission crossmember mounting points. All that is needed is a simple notch to clear the tubing of the subframe connector. With that being said, follow along, guys, as I walk you through the brief installation steps on this 99 Electric Green GT. To begin installation, support the car via a drive-on lift with the weight of the car supported by the wheels. Jack stands or a two-post lift is not recommended for this install. If your car is an automatic, remove the shifter linkage cable. Before continuing, you may have to remove your mid-pipe for easier access and working space. Starting on the passenger side, remove the seat track hardware and position one of the seat track supports. These are size specific, and the openings for the subframe should be in line with the car's frame rail. Install the other seat track support onto the driver's side. The longer part of the track support will be on the inside of the frame rail. The subframe connectors are size specific as well. Each connector has two outer tabs. These will be closest to the front of the car and on the outside of the frame rail, whereas the single tab will be on the inside of the frame rail. Hold the subframe connector in place using pole jacks. It may help if you space the jack with a 2x4. Moving to the rear subframe, align the lower torque box supports with the frame rail. These are side specific as well. The longer tab will sit on the inside of the frame rail, whereas the smaller tab will be flush with the back side of the torque box. Use a permanent marker to mark the area of the rear torque box supports. Before continuing, make sure the end of the subframe connector is flush with the rear of the torque box. Mark all of the tabs and the front of the subframe connector. Grab your welder and mask and fully weld the seat track supports to the subframe connector. Allow the welds to cool down and then remove the welded assembly from the car. Wipe the entire subframe connector down with brake clean or denatured alcohol. Take this time to thoroughly paint the seat track supports and the tops of the subframe connector that will mate with the bottom of the frame rail. Grind down your marked areas. Reposition the torque box supports and tack them into place. Now you can weld the entire support to the bottom of the car. Position the subframe connector and support it via pole jacks. Make sure the rear of the connector is still flush with the back side of the torque box supports. Completely weld the subframe connector to the surfaces that were previously prepped with the grinder. Remove the pole jacks, deburr any rough welds, and then paint the remainder of the subframe connector. Repeat these steps for the other side, double check your work, and you're all finished. As far as installation is concerned, fellas, bet on about 45 minutes to an hour per side, and that is of course allowing the paint to dry. If you or a friend don't have access to a welder, be sure and run the car down to your local exhaust or fabrication shop. If you guys want to see more in-depth product promos for your Fox body or SM95 based Mustang, then subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're at it. Head back over to the site if you're not already there and pick up a set of SVE Subframe Connectors for your 1979 to 2004 Mustang at LMR.com.